Mommy, Mottanni, Mottanni, Mottanni.
Good morning, beautiful people. You are listening to Mottanni on FM 100 Foundation Radio, the voice of the voiceless. Dare to dream, dare to think, dare to work, and you will achieve. Mottanni on FM 100, signing in. Mottanni, it's that program, that motivation program you will be listening to from 11:30 to up to midday every Friday on FM 100. And ladies and gentlemen, just to remind you, manning the 1001 buttons on the panel mixer for us to be getting that beautiful sound, we have our humble Tendong Julius, and also station manager. He's in for supervision, and he's no other person but Mukon Jenny Nelson. And on the mic, you can call me your humble radio indicator, Mottanni. And you can always get to us by email or by WhatsApp or on the Facebook or any other social media by just typing the name Mottanni. It's a great day, and top of the day to you once more. Mottanni, it's your regular motivational program you will be getting every day, every Friday, from the hour of 11:30 to 12 noon. Ladies and gentlemen, do not judge each day by the fruit you reap, but by the seeds you plant. That means when you begin every day, you rather focus on the fruit you plant rather than the seeds. You rather focus on the seeds you plant rather than fruit you receive. That means we should endeavor each day to, what we do is give more than we receive. Because if we give more than we receive, I bet you, ladies and gentlemen, one day you will also receive more than you give. And when you give, endeavor not to give for recognition. Endeavor not to give out of pity, but you have to endeavor to give for out of love, to give out of empathy, so that you are helping the universe to be able to carry out the normal course in which it is supposed to be. And ladies and gentlemen, one of the mistakes that most of us do nowadays is the load of tomorrow added to those of yesterday, carried today, makes the strongest falter. We waste most of our time thinking about either the past or the future. We either focus on the past and let it affect the present, or we focus on the future and neglect the past and neglect the present. And ladies and gentlemen, when we focus on the past, most of the times we are filled with regret. We are filled with regret on things we did not do, on things we did and did not do well. And when we focus on the future, most of the times, especially in our present context, you're filled with fear. Fear of what will happen at this very moment. Fear of what might happen in an hour's time. Fear of what can happen in the future. What will happen if things continue the way they are doing? What will happen if the fight continues as it has always been? So, as we focus on the past or on the future, what we fail to do is focusing on the present, because the present is all you have, and what you do with the present now will determine what will happen in the future. If you dare to focus on the present moment, what can I do at this particular moment? What can I do to my kids? What can I do to my spouse? What can I do to make my community a better place? What can I do to make my nation a better nation? Then that is going to help you. That is going to help you, and that will keep you focused. And ladies and gentlemen, you will be void of regret or fear, knowing that once you handle this particular moment very, very well, then the future will be yours. Because what happens in the future depends on what you do today, what you do now. Now, no opportunity wasted. And ladies and gentlemen, one other thing we need to focus on is this. If you think you can or you can't, you are most usually right. That is a statement by Henry Ford. And what does this mean? Whatever you face in life, if you think you can handle it, that moment where you are opportune to think, yes, I can handle it. At that particular moment, even if you are not able to handle it at that particular moment, I bet you, ladies and gentlemen, your subconscious mind keeps working on how to get you be able to handle whatever situation you are facing. But at that particular moment, if you just tell yourself, oh, I can't handle it, that's the end, I can't handle it, now your subconscious mind, which is one of the most obedient part of you, just goes to sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have experienced this notion, and the fact that you might have met a friend on a road, an old friend on the road, and it became difficult to recall the name at that particular time. And sometimes you just play along and you call those other pet names just to make sure the person does not realize that you have forgotten the name. Then, like 5 minutes after, when he is gone, or let's say a day or two, that name comes to you. What happened is your subconscious mind has been working. It does not sleep. It keeps working to find out what the name of that person whom you met was. So ladies and gentlemen, when you're facing any situation in life, be it a crisis that we are in, be it financial problems, be it emotional problems, rather than telling yourself, I can't handle it, because if you say you can't handle it, then it is clear that you are not ready for promotion and you're not ready to get stronger. Ladies and gentlemen, tell yourself, I can handle it. Even if I can't handle it now, tell yourself the statement, it is possible that I can handle this thing. And I will handle it. I will handle it. One of the other mistakes that we sometimes make is this. We always allow other people's opinion to affect our lives, especially in the community in which we live in. When you tell people about your dreams, what happens? They laugh. They said, dreams don't exist in Africa. And sometimes I always say, we shouldn't really blame our parents for this, because they grew up in the era where dreams were never fulfilled. So sometimes rather than telling them that I have a dream, it is to show them the dream. Show them the dream. And you should also understand that your dream is given to you to achieve, and no other person. And if you don't achieve that dream, we all will be left starved. Imagine the person who sat and imagined somebody standing on stage and talking to thousands of people without necessarily having to shout by using the microphone. If that person never pursued that dream of creating this microphone that you're listening to me now, then, ladies and gentlemen, we all would have been starved. So your dream is given to you and for you only to achieve. And someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. That is from Leslie Calvin Brown. So whatever dream you have, whatever thing you want to achieve, whatever goal you're planning to achieve this 2019, you should remember that it has been given to you to achieve, and others are waiting to benefit from that dream. And if you do not carry out, or if you do not fulfill that dream, others will be left starved. And also, ladies and gentlemen, some other mistakes we make in life is we are always so tempted to judge people from appearance. And that is one of the worst mistakes we make, because you can't tell who a person is by the way the person appears. We should endeavor as much as we can to, whenever you meet somebody, whether that person is like you or not, the first thing you can do is think and remember that that person is as you are. What you believe that person is as human as you are, then the next thing you have to put yourself in is to know that that person grew up in a different environment, in a different culture, not as you. And the fact that he grew up in a different culture and you grew up in another one does not mean that theirs was wrong because of the way the person appears. You should always remember that human beings will always reflect what you throw at them. So when you meet that person for the first time and the person's appearance does not look like yours, or is not something the way you imagined, all you have to do is show love to that person. Look at somebody the way he or she is, they will only become worse. Look at them as if they were what they could be, ladies and gentlemen, and they become what they should be. That is from Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. And ladies and gentlemen, so many of us are filled with a lot of dreams. And sometimes you feel like, okay, my education is not sufficient to achieve that dream. My education is not sufficient to achieve that dream, or I don't have the money to go ahead and start that project, or what. We keep on giving ourselves reasons as to why we are not already embarking on the dream that we have in mind. And ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you today that it's not what you don't have, but what you think you need that will stop you from achieving that dream. You don't necessarily need the money. Ladies and gentlemen, just begin today and now, and you will be surprised how things are going to show up. If there is no enemy within, ladies and gentlemen, the enemy without can do you no harm. Your greatest enemy is those negative thoughts you have within, that you can't achieve that dream because of either lack of finances, lack of manpower, lack of energy, lack of the expertise. Just begin today and you will be surprised. At this moment, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to visit our turntable, where our indefatigable Tendong Julius will be giving us a track from Ewo Donson, one of our own Northwest-based artists, and he is telling you that never give up and keep focusing on your dream. Let's get to the turntables.
If only you knew how great you are. Every time you try so hard to be, maybe a great pillar of your country, or to be the change maker of the world, then I don't think you'll ever run away. Even when your world has broken down, you should always turn and face your fears. For what doesn't kill you makes you strong. Just keep interested in whatever you do. Listen to your heart and believe like a fool. For however humble, it is a real possession in the changing fortune of time. Oh my brother, one day
That is Ewo Donson in If You Can. That is telling us that we all have bright futures, and all you have to do is believe like a fool in whatever you want to achieve. Because if you know where you're going, ladies and gentlemen, the world will stand aside. But you have to prove to the world that you know where you're going for them to stand aside. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have, as I said, we all have a lot of things we want to achieve in 2019. Some of us have a dream of becoming great parents. Some of us have a dream of being a great son or daughter to our parents. Some of us have a dream of being a great musician. Some of us have a dream of being a great spoken word artist. Some of us have a dream of being a great dancer, of being a great performer, of being a business owner. Some of us have a dream of being one of the billionaires that will be springing up by the end of this year. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to achieve that dream, the first thing you've got to do is to know who you are. Lao Tzu let us know that he who knows others is wise, but he who knows himself is enlightened. We waste most of our time telling somebody, I know you too much. I know you ground. You know if you do the thing different. Now so you'd ever behave you. But actually, how much do you know yourself? Why do you focus your time thinking or trying to find out who or what somebody is capable of, rather than finding out what you are supposed to? What you are actually. What you can do. You have to focus and find out before embarking on that dream of becoming a great musician, or becoming a business owner, or becoming a performer, or becoming a dancer. Ask yourself, okay, what are my strengths? What are my strengths? What can I do at this moment? And what can I work on? Find out yourself. It's a full-time job finding out who you are. If you spend your time trying to find out who actually you are, ladies and gentlemen, you will have no time wondering. You have no time telling other people, I know who you are, because if you don't know yourself, ladies and gentlemen, you can hardly get to know who some other person is. And you have to also realize that, ladies and gentlemen, to achieve that goal or that task that you've set for yourself this 2019, you have to understand that it has nothing to do with feelings. You have to set aside and you have to commit yourself to following the principles of hard work, the principles of commitment, the principle of disciplining yourself. And ladies and gentlemen, remember, life functions on principles and not on feelings. That is from our own CEO of St. Louis University, Dr. Nick Ngwanyam. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, we are going back to our turntables. This time, we are going to our turntables to get poetry, motivational poetry that will uplift your spirit, poetry that will keep you fighting and keep you working and keep you trying to achieve that which you have conceived in your mind. Let's visit our turntables, and Tenon Julius will give us What More by Mottanni. Was sentenced to life imprisonment for fighting for justice and equality for the human race. December 4, 1982, Melbourne, Australia. Nicholas James Ojese was born with no hands and no legs. What did he do to deserve this? Yet he has grown up to be a speaker, a trainer with a wife and 4 kids. Thomas Alva Edison, 10,000 times he tried to get the light bulb to shine. When he finally did, he said, I did not fail, but I only found 10,000 ways that would work. And that most of life's failures are experienced by people who gave up, not knowing how close they were to their success. Suashiro Honda was rolled out of school for dullness. His teachers said he will never succeed, but today he is the owner of one of the biggest motor companies in the world, the Honda Motor Company, worth $344 billion 2016 statistics. The Edinburgh Society of Engineers said a metal object would never fly. They told the Wright brothers. But December 17, 1903, they watched as the first plane flew and they wondered in surprise. She was raped by her own father. She was divorced by her first husband. But today, she is a writer, a president, and a speaker giving hopes to humanity. Joyce Meyer of Joyce Meyer Ministries. He was crucified, dead and buried, but he rose again and saved us all from our sins. So what more?
Mami Mottanni.
What more do you need as proof? That if Albert Einstein, one of the greatest physicists and scientists, only started talking at the age of 4, that is to tell you that the ligament nature of Eve does not define your destiny. What more do you need to bring out your stuff? That whether you are educated or not, it has little to do with your impact. For Thomas Alva Edison was self-educated. Wait till you need them for belief. So you don't need to go out of Africa, go out of Cameroon for school in order to create impact. For there are so many who have done that. Look at Uncle Ro of Zimbabwe. Look at the Obiangs of Ecuador. Look at the Idi Amins of Uganda. They all studied, they came back, and they are suffering from the Messiah syndrome. That Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela did not go out of Africa, but his leadership qualities and the example he's left on the face of this earth cannot be reckoned. What more do you need to believe that you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free? But the truth that will set you free is the truth that you don't want to hear. That money is not everything, but everybody wants to taste it for himself. That there is a difference between making money and making meaning with your life. That you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. That if the only way to go ahead is to start. And that if you say you can or you can't, you are most usually right. What more do you need to believe? That all of us are self-made, but only the rich will admit it. What more do you need to understand? That if you focus every day on the fruits you reap rather than on the seeds you plant, you're going to miss the wonders and the beauty of life. What more do you need to understand? That in order to get tomorrow what others won't have, you must be willing to do today what others won't do. What more do you need to understand? That life is a bed of roses for he who constructs an orchard. Life, sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes things go real well, and sometimes they don't. That is that thing we call life. Life is a challenge, you have to meet it. Life is an adventure, you have to dare it. Life is a goal that you have to achieve it. Life is a tragedy that you have to endure it. Life is a promise, you have to fulfill it. Life is beauty, you have to praise it. We have to preserve our dignity, and preserving that dignity has to make you understand that the failure you encounter is an event and not a person, and that yesterday really did end with last night, and today is a brand new day for you. You have to understand that success a win does not make you, and failure a loss does not break you. You have to understand that whatever you're going through now is meant to prepare you better for the future. So that when you are ready to move into your greatness and the world cannot understand and they ask, will you be able to face the storm? Then you smile and tell them, I am.
Mommy, Mottanni, Mottanni, Mottanni.
That is all we had time for, ladies and gentlemen. You have been listening to Mottanni on FM 100, Foundation Radio, the voice of the voiceless. Manning the 1001 buttons on the panel mixer, ladies and gentlemen, we had Tendong Julius, and also station supervision for the program came in from station manager Mukon Johnny Nelson. And ladies and gentlemen, you can always get to Mottanni on the Facebook, on the YouTube, also WhatsApp or Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. Why not Instagram? Just type the name Mottanni, Mottanni, Mottanni. Ladies and gentlemen, for presentation this day, I have been your humble servant, Mottanni, and we'll catch you next Friday, same time, 11:30 to 12 noon. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, bye-bye.